Nobody is coming. Think about that for a moment. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to build your future. Nobody is coming to turn your dreams into reality. At first, that sounds harsh, maybe even a little painful. But what if this truth could change your life? Many people spend years waiting for support, waiting for motivation, waiting for the right opportunity, waiting for someone to believe in them. And while they wait, nothing changes. Days pass, months pass, sometimes years pass. Then one day they realize something important. The person they have been waiting for is themselves. Hello, my friend. I am happy you are here today, because this message is for anyone who feels alone, anyone who feels overlooked, anyone who is working hard while nobody seems to notice. Today, we are going to talk about a skill that can completely change your life. The ability to move forward without applause, without approval, without constant support. Not because you want to be alone, but because some of the most important journeys in life must be walked by yourself. Stay with me until the end, because what feels like loneliness today may actually be building the strongest version of you. And it all begins with a lesson that most people learn too late. Nobody sees the beginning. Part 1. Nobody sees the beginning. Every success story has a beginning, but most people never see it. They see the promotion, they see the business, they see the results. What they do not see are the months or years before that. The early mornings, the late nights, the mistakes, the quiet effort. That is because the beginning is often invisible. Imagine a person learning English. On the first day, they know only a few words. Speaking feels uncomfortable. Listening feels difficult. Progress is slow. Nobody notices. After 1 week, there is little change. After 1 month, the change is still small. It would be easy to quit, and many people do. Not because learning is impossible, but because they cannot see the results yet. This happens in many areas of life. People start exercising. They expect quick results. People start saving money. They expect quick results. People start building a dream. They expect quick results. When those results do not appear, they become discouraged. But real growth rarely happens that way. A tree does not become tall in a week. A strong body is not built in a month. A better life is not created overnight. Good things take time. That is why the beginning feels lonely. You are working. You are trying. You are improving. But nobody can see it. And sometimes, even you cannot see it. That is the dangerous moment. The moment when you start asking, is this worth it? Am I making progress? Should I stop? The answer is simple. Keep going. Not because success is guaranteed, but because quitting guarantees nothing will change. Every skill starts small. Every achievement starts small. Every successful person was once a beginner. The difference is that they stayed long enough to grow. They accepted the quiet stage. They accepted the invisible stage. They understood that progress often happens before results appear. If you are working towards something right now, remember this. You do not need everyone to notice. You do not need everyone to understand. You only need to continue. One day the results will speak for themselves. And before we move on, If this message is helping you, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more stories that improve both your English and your life. Now, there is something even harder than being ignored. Something that stops more people than failure itself. It appears when the world becomes quiet. It appears when progress feels slow. It appears inside your own mind. It is called doubt. And that is where our journey goes next. Part 2. The voice of doubt. Sooner or later, doubt appears. It appears in every dream, every goal, every journey. No matter who you are, you will hear its voice. At first, you feel excited. You start something new. You feel motivated. You imagine a better future. Then reality arrives. The work becomes harder. Progress becomes slower. The excitement begins to fade. And that is when doubt starts talking. What if I fail? What if I'm wasting my time? What if I'm not good enough? These questions seem small, but they are powerful. Many people do not quit because of failure. They quit because they believe these thoughts. A woman once decided to improve her English. She worked during the day. She studied at night. At first, she was excited, but after a few weeks, she felt frustrated. Native speakers talked too fast. New words were difficult to remember. Some days, she felt like she was making no progress at all. Then doubt appeared. It told her, "You are too old. Your English will never be good. Other people learn faster than you." For a while, she listened, and the more she listened, the more she wanted to quit. Then she realized something important. Doubt had no evidence. It only had fear. So she made a new decision. Instead of asking, "Am I good enough?" she started asking, "Did I improve a little today?" That small change made a big difference. One lesson, one page, one conversation, one day at a time. Slowly, her English improved. Not because doubt disappeared, but because she stopped obeying it. That is an important lesson. Confidence is not the absence of doubt. Confidence is continuing even when doubt is present. Every successful person has felt fear. Every successful person has questioned themselves. The difference is that they did not stop. They kept moving. Even when they felt uncertain. Even when they felt uncomfortable. Even when they felt afraid. Remember this. Doubt loves waiting. It wants you to delay. It wants you to stay where it is safe. But growth never happens inside a comfort zone. Growth begins when you take action. One small action, then another, then another. Over time, those actions become proof. Proof that you can learn. Proof that you can improve. Proof that you are stronger than you think. And once that proof begins to grow, something interesting happens. You start trusting yourself. You stop depending on motivation. You stop depending on other people's opinions. You begin building something much more valuable. Self-trust. And that is where real strength begins. Part 3. Building self-trust. After doubt comes an important lesson. You must learn to trust yourself. This sounds simple, but for many people, it is difficult. Why? Because they trust their feelings more than their actions. When they feel motivated, they work. When they do not feel motivated, they stop. As a result, They move forward one day and backward the next. Real self-trust is built differently. It is built through action. Small actions, repeated again and again. Imagine that you make a promise to yourself. You will read 10 pages today. You do it. The next day, you do it again and again. Each time you keep that promise, something changes. You begin to trust yourself a little more, not because you feel stronger, because you have proof. Proof is powerful. Many people wait for confidence before they act, but confidence usually comes after action. A person becomes confident in speaking English by speaking. A person becomes confident in business by working. A person becomes confident in life by facing challenges. Confidence is earned. It is not given. There was a young man who wanted to improve his life. He made a simple plan. Every morning, he would wake up 30 minutes earlier. Nothing more. Just 30 minutes. The first week was difficult. Some mornings he wanted to stay in bed. Some mornings he felt tired. But he kept his promise. After a month, something changed. He felt more disciplined. After 3 months, he felt more focused. After 6 months, he trusted himself more than ever before. Not because he became perfect, but because he learned that he could depend on himself. That is the power of self-trust. When you trust yourself, you stop looking for constant motivation. You stop waiting for the perfect mood. You stop making excuses. You simply do the work, day after day. This does not mean life becomes easy. Challenges still exist. Difficult days still come. But now you have something stronger than motivation. You have a habit. And habits can carry you through days when emotions cannot. Remember this. Every promise you keep to yourself makes you stronger. Every promise you break makes trust weaker. That is why small actions matter. They may look small today, but they are building the person you will become tomorrow. Over time, self-trust creates confidence. Confidence creates action. Action creates results. And results create a better life. But there is another benefit that comes from trusting yourself. A powerful one. The more you trust yourself, the less you need other people to approve of you. And that changes everything, because many people are not controlled by failure. They are controlled by the opinions of others. And that is exactly what we will talk about next. Part 4. Stop chasing approval. One of the biggest mistakes people make is waiting for approval. They want everyone to agree with them. They want everyone to understand their dream. They want everyone to support their decisions. But life rarely works that way. The truth is simple. Not everyone will believe in you. Not everyone will understand you. Not everyone will support you. And that is okay. Imagine a young woman who wants to start her own business. She is excited. She has a plan. She is ready to begin. Then she tells people about it. Some people smile. Some people doubt her. Others tell her to be more realistic. At first, she tries to explain herself. She tries to convince everyone. She spends more time talking than doing. And nothing changes. Then one day she learns an important lesson. She does not need permission to follow her dream. She does not need everyone to agree. She only needs to take the next step. So she stops explaining. She stops arguing. She stops trying to win approval. Instead, she starts working. Little by little, progress appears. This lesson applies to all of us. If you try to please everyone, you will lose yourself. Someone will always have an opinion. Someone will always think you should do something different. Someone will always criticize your choices. You cannot control that. What you can control is your response. You can keep moving forward. You can stay focused on your goals. You can spend your energy improving instead of proving. That is a much better use of your time. Because approval is temporary. One day people praise you. The next day, they criticize you. Opinions change quickly. Your character does not. Your habits do not. Your discipline does not. That is where your attention should go. The strongest people are not the people who receive the most approval. They are the people who know who they are. They know their values. They know their goals. And they keep moving forward, even when others disagree. There is a special kind of peace that comes from this. You stop worrying about every opinion. You stop needing validation. You stop carrying the weight of other people's expectations. Instead, you focus on becoming better than you were yesterday. That is enough. But even when you stop chasing approval, life still has challenges waiting for you. There will be setbacks. There will be disappointments. There will be moments when things do not go as planned. And those moments will test everything you have learned so far. The question is not whether you will face failure. You will. The real question is what you will do when it arrives. And that is the lesson we will explore next. Part 5. Using failure as fuel. No one likes failure. No one enjoys disappointment. When things go wrong, it hurts. That is normal. But failure is not the enemy. Giving up is. Every successful person has failed. Some failed many times. The difference is that they did not let failure have the final word. They learned from it. They grew from it. And they kept moving forward. Imagine a man applying for a new job. He studies hard. He prepares for the interview. He believes he is ready. Then he receives bad news. He did not get the job. At first, he feels discouraged. He feels frustrated. He starts questioning himself. Maybe you have felt the same way. When a goal does not work out, it is easy to think, maybe I am not good enough. But that thought is dangerous. One failure does not define your future. One mistake does not define your value. One setback does not define your life. The man in our story had a choice. He could quit, or he could learn. He chose to learn. He improved his skills. He practiced more. He prepared better. A few months later, another opportunity appeared. This time, he was ready. And this time, he succeeded. Looking back, he realized something important. The first rejection was not the end. It was preparation. Many failures work the same way. They teach lessons that success cannot teach. Failure teaches patience. Failure teaches humility. Failure teaches resilience. These lessons are valuable. The problem is that we usually understand them only later. While we are in the struggle, everything feels unfair. Everything feels difficult. Everything feels uncertain. But time often reveals the purpose of the challenge. Think about your own life. Some of your greatest lessons probably came from difficult moments. Moments you did not want. Moments you did not choose. Yet those moments helped shape who you are today. That is why setbacks should not stop you. They should strengthen you. Every challenge asks the same question. Will you quit or will you grow? The answer is always your choice. And each time you choose growth, you become stronger. Not stronger physically, stronger mentally, stronger emotionally, stronger in character. That kind of strength cannot be bought. It must be earned. And it is earned through struggle. So do not fear failure. Learn from it. Use it. Let it teach you. Then keep moving. Because after enough challenges, something remarkable happens. You stop seeing obstacles as enemies. You start seeing them as teachers. And that changes the way you live. It also changes the way you see being alone. Because one day, you realize that the lonely road was never your weakness. It was the place where your strength was built. And that is the final lesson of this journey. Part 6. When alone becomes your strength. At the beginning of this video, being alone may have sounded like a problem. Something painful. Something to avoid. But now, you can see it differently. Being alone is not always a weakness. Sometimes, it is where your greatest strength is built. Think about everything we have discussed. The quiet beginning. The voice of doubt. Learning to trust yourself. Letting go of approval. Growing through failure. Each lesson taught the same thing. You are stronger than you think. Most people discover this only when they have no other choice. When support disappears. When life becomes difficult. When the road becomes quiet. That is when real growth begins. Because when you are alone, you learn important lessons. You learn how to make decisions. You learn how to solve problems. You learn how to keep going without constant encouragement. And most importantly, you learn who you really are. Many people spend their lives following the crowd. They follow popular opinions. They follow popular paths. They follow what everyone else is doing. But when you spend time alone, you begin to think for yourself. You begin to choose your own direction. You begin to create your own life. That is a powerful thing. The goal is not to be alone forever. The goal is to become strong enough that being alone no longer scares you. Because fear controls many people. Fear of failure. Fear of rejection. Fear of judgment. Fear of being different. But when you learn to stand on your own, those fears become smaller. You realize that you can survive difficult days. You realize that you can solve problems. You realize that you can keep moving forward. And that realization changes everything. It gives you freedom. Freedom to try. Freedom to learn. Freedom to take risks. Freedom to become the person you want to be. One day, people may notice your success. They may admire your confidence. They may wonder how you became so strong. What they will not see are the quiet days that built you. The days when nobody was watching. The days when you wanted to quit. The days when you kept going anyway. Those days mattered. More than you know. Because strength is not built during easy times. It is built during difficult times. Character is not built through comfort. It is built through challenge. And confidence is not built through praise. It is built through action. So if you are walking alone right now, do not lose hope. This season will not last forever. Keep learning. Keep improving. Keep moving forward. One small step each day is enough. You do not need to be perfect. You only need to continue. Because one day you will look back and understand something important. The road that felt lonely was not holding you back. It was preparing you to become stronger, wiser, more confident, more independent. And once you learn that lesson, you stop seeing loneliness as a burden. You start seeing it as a gift that helped you become the person you were meant to be. As we reach the end of this journey, remember one simple truth. You do not need a crowd to move forward. You do not need constant praise. You do not need everyone to believe in you. Sometimes all you need is the courage to take the next step. Life will not always be easy. There will be quiet days. There will be difficult days. There will be moments when you feel alone. But those moments do not have to break you. They can build you. Every challenge can make you stronger. Every setback can teach you something valuable. Every step forward can help you become a better version of yourself. So keep going. Even when progress feels slow. Even when nobody notices. Even when doubt tries to stop you. Trust the process. Trust your effort. Trust yourself. Because the person you are becoming is being shaped right now. One decision, one habit, one day at a time. And one day, you will look back and realize that the road you feared the most taught you the lessons you needed the most. What felt like loneliness became strength. What felt like struggle became growth. What felt like the end became a new beginning. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take care of yourself. Keep learning. Keep growing. And wherever your journey leads, never stop moving forward.